Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so we're getting ready for the live reveals from Games Workshop. Okay, so we're doing live reveals today. It starts in about 10 minutes, so if you just want to tune in for just the reveals, you can skip ahead to about the 10-minute mark and the reveals there. I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys because I'm just starting off the stream. I'm still sipping coffee. It's not terribly early in the morning for me. It's, what is it, 8:50, so it's pretty usual time to be conscious at this hour. As they say, awake. Sophie, hey y'all, hey Sophie. I think you might be the only one in here at the moment, Sophie. Oh, never mind. Legion's here too. Boing. Small hobby question: has anyone used Vallejo varnish with an airbrush and with a brush before? Do they look the same on the model? Yes. Vallejo varnish will look the same through airbrush and paintbrush. It'll look the same. Now, we're talking, it looks the same as far as coverage and all of that. Sure, yes. I've used the Vallejo's varnishes quite a bit. Through airbrush, through bristle brush. And I don't do it a lot with bristle brush. It's more, for example, if I was using, say, the gloss and the matte and the satin, and I was going for visual differences, so like a glossy surface next to a matte surface next to, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Then I would pick it out by brush. But yeah, consistent, like as far as ease of use, yeah, I just put a little bit on my palette, take a paintbrush, and just apply it. If I'm doing like the entire miniature in one varnished layer, then yeah, I just use the airbrush or use a spray can. Actually, you know what? I just picked up Krylon or Rust-Oleum. It was the Rust-Oleum clear matte. I just did it for my terrain. And yeah, covers really nicely. Gives a nice, flat, even look to the surface. And yeah, it worked out well. So I definitely would. I'm pretty sure it was Rust-Oleum. Yeah, damn it. I got to get the can now. I'll be right back. We got time. Yes, so it's Rust-Oleum clear matte. Oh, that's what I used. And yeah, so it's this stuff here. Clear matte spray paint. It's like $10 at the big box stores. And it worked really, really well. I'd used like products like testers before in the past and everything like that, and I always got really good results. I did these little walls here. These were a lot shinier before because I did a series of, I laid golden high flow to create this gradient on the bottom. This was sprayed Xandri dust, the Citadel spray. It was sprayed that, and then it was given a little layering on the bottom here for Golden's, what is it? Burnt Sienna? Yeah, Burnt Sienna. And then I used a Liquitex Burnt Sienna ink, a little flow aid, so it gets in all the nooks and crannies, and then did a sponging of like, weathering and stuff like that. Dark brown metals. That was it. And yeah, and then sealed it. And it had like glossy points, as you could see, like for example, the dark brown spots inside the little windows here. That was like pure ink just sitting there, and it was shiny. And at first I was like, oh, it's kind of cool because it kind of looked like blood. But then I was like, no, I think I'll just mat it all down and be done with it. I got no space on my desk. I have no room. I'm out of real estate as far as my room is concerned. My office space. Legion, thanks. No problem, dude. Are those walls from the Kill Team boxes? Well, that's how I have acquired them. Yes. Games Workshop sent me the Kill Team Marok. Nachman? Marok. The one with the Space Marines. Had the Space Marines and the Chaos. Yeah. And it was from that set. So I have a set of the walls, the building, the radar dish, the little tower, that stuff, right? So I've got a set of that. And, oh, yeah. Right here. Oh, you guys probably can't see it. Yeah. So I got it all right here. This is just Xandri Dust. So it started off like this. Just straight up Xandri Dust. And then I began building the gradients up. Yeah, I got it all sitting here. You guys probably can't see it all that well, but yeah, it's there. I got it. Let's see what's going on over in the live stream. Got Q&A going. We got Q&A going. Got sound? Let me know if you guys can hear the sound. Which of these Space Marine chapters is known to have fought at the last defense of Cadia? Wasn't it the Space Wolves? Space Wolves? Oh, that was the Space Wolves. No? Yes, no, maybe so. Dramatic music. Boom, boom, boom. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Hi, Kris and Monkeys. Excited to see today's reveals. I reckon they're going to probably rigged it in the Space Marines' favor, but we'll see. Yeah, interesting. I know a lot of people tend to view these kind of global events with a bit of skepticism as far as, people, deciding the fate of, Istvan, deciding the fate of Armageddon, deciding the fate of, X. And I don't think it really matters either way, really, to be honest. Is that music loud? Loud for me. It's kind of annoying me. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it really matters whether it's real or not. It's narrative. And everybody out there who's into narrative gameplay, they don't really care either way if it was real or fake, because again, this is all science fiction. This is all made up. So, now why would they go through the trouble of printing out little sheets with a code on them to stick in every box of Leviathan, only for it to be a scam? That does not make a lot of sense. Why would think of it in just terms of follow the money, right? Oh, hey, we didn't get a fucking answer to that question. Who was it? The Space Walls? I wasn't paying attention. God damn it. Ghost of Starman. True enough, I might be being cynical. Yeah, of course. I mean, no, but being cynical, a little cynical, is healthy. So, no worries. I mean, yes, even I am skeptical of the outcomes of these, global, worldwide events, and where everybody gets a vote, and, there's always a part of your brain that says, I think I'm being bullshitted here. And, it's natural. That's perfectly natural. Legion, I predict 50% reveal of both factions incoming. Yeah, it probably is. It's probably going to be Tyranids and Space Marines. It's probably just going to be who gets revealed first, right? They'll probably do it that way. Because, why keep the upcoming Tyranids secret? Or Space Marines, right? Why tease us like that? Unless, of course, maybe it's just to generate more enthusiasm, I guess. Sophie, wonder if it'll be individual characters or box set reveals. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think with Tyranids, we're gonna see a newer unit, something we haven't seen before, or a new character monster, I suppose. And with Space Marines, yeah, I have no idea. I mean, do Space Marines honestly need another unit? Okay, do Space Marines honestly need another unit? Everybody who's into 10th edition right now, okay, you look at the index cards for all the factions, up to and including Space Marines, and all its sub-factions. That shit is that thick of cards. The actual physical cards. It's that thick, okay? As opposed to, Eldari, which is probably one of the few, armies that has a larger thickness of units, right? And it's only that thick. So, Space Marines. Space Marines is the problem.
Alex, thanks for joining us.
Oh, here we go. Presentation starting. Here we go.
I'm good. I'm
Go.
excited
Let's
to
do
see
this.
some cool new,
Let's do this.
new miniatures
Ooh, yes.
and to find out who has won the battle for.
Put myself right here. There we go.
So, for those
Put
of you
myself
who
right in the
who
action.
don't know
Yes.
what happened in the battle for Oghram, this was a global battle event where everybody who got a copy of
Global
the Leviathan box
battle
was
event.
able to send in the results of their first.
Steven, what are you most excited for? Tyranids. I think new Tyranids. The Death Leaper preview we got a little while ago. That was really cool, and I'd like to see what else is coming out. Alex, good morning. Good morning. Who's Starman? From what they've said so far, they'll be showing us all the new stuff coming. Okay.
Battle. Indeed. We'll find that out very soon. And then the
Terminator
other
Captain in True
is,
Scale.
Whichever the victor was, we'll have a look at their cool new models that are on the way.
We had no new
get a
data
battle
stack
in?
or
I did
data
indeed.
card to the stack.
I
Yeah.
built the entirety of the box. I played against my brother.
You guys can hear the audio of this stream,
For me.
like the Games Workshop stream.
What about yourself?
I know last couple times I've done live streams like this that
Warhammer 40,000.
there has not been
But I didn't play. Actually play
any
mine.
audio
Much to
playing
my-
through.
much to my
So.
shame.
But if you had,
Let me know if the
who
audio
would
is
you have wanted
nice and
to
clear
win?
and what have you.
I am an
Or maybe it's too loud. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
in this.
Might be
so,
too loud. You know what? I'm gonna turn down the audio on.
But you played another game as well, didn't you?
Yes, and it didn't quite go.
What happened in
the
your
way I
second
wanted.
game?
In the
Five.
second game, my Space Marines didn't survive. Not for very long.
Okay.
It's maybe a bit quiet. Oh, really?
We used the first result. So the Space Marines.
Well, I'm okay with quiet.
Competition's concerned. The Space
Fair
Marines
enough.
won. Yeah.
Good.
Big
Well,
one.
thank you ever so much for tuning in, guys. I can see there's absolutely loads of you in the chat already.
I'm gonna move the slider. Hiroki, there we go. Sophie, I can hear it. You can hear it? Okay, good. Hiroki, hey, Chris and Monkey.
We
Hey.
know some people might have.
All right, well, I'll bring the volume of it back up a little
That's
bit.
okay, but we know, plenty of people did play their game and sent the results in. So if you played a game, let us know.
Steven,
how
I'm
your
also
game
excited to
went.
see some new Tyranids. Yeah, new Tyranids are very cool.
Lots of Tyranids.
Again,
a
like-
lot of Tyranids in the chat there.
Personally, I don't know why
There's an Orcs in there as well.
Games Workshop
Love your energy. It's great. It's great to see.
has this really
Do let us know where you're
imbalanced
tuning in from as well, guys.
focus
It's always
towards
great to do these
Space
previews
Marines
see
and
thousands
ignoring
of
other
fans tuning
factions.
in
Like,
from all over the world. That's really
like why make Space Marines
one of the nice things.
all
about
the
this battle is
stuff
that,
and then
everyone
have nobody to play
had a
against?
code in
Like, that doesn't make a lot of
so we
sense.
did
Like, it
genuinely
should
have
be
entries from, I think,
all the
almost every
factions getting
continent in
fairly
the world,
equal
100
attention.
100
Yes, I realize
different
Space Marines are the
places.
poster child, but
So
I
yeah,
don't
great
personally. I
to
don't
see
think
that.
Space Marines should be the
Loads
poster
people
child
tuning
of
in, it's a
40k.
mix of
I think it should be Imperial
Portugal,
Guard
Texas,
or some sort of
Nottingham,
Imperial,
Germany. Awesome.
Interested to see if anybody's tuning in.
because
from
Space Marines really should be
Of course, yeah. It
on
might
the
be quite early in the
tabletop,
morning to go
like the
around
lore,
now, but,
should be this
they could
mythical
they could be
force,
working on it.
and they should be more like
The other thing
how,
happening this weekend is
you know,
the
whenever you're
tournament
when
in,
for all you
America,
gamers, when you
and
get
after
get
this
into the
show
table
later on in the
and somebody
day,
says,
we'll
"Oh, I'm
live
bringing
stream
custodes."
Warhammer 40,000 as well.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it should be that kind of moment. Oh, I'm bringing Space Marines. Oh, okay. You know, it should be that same level. Space Marines should be at that custode level where it's like, oh, bringing custodes. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we freaking ridiculous, resilient units, right?
All the technical bits work properly, and we've got the wonderful Notley who is moderating in the chat as well. So if you are in the chat, please be nice to Notley, and if you're not nice to him, then he'll kick you out. So you know, be on your best behaviour. Very cool. Okay.
We're already getting issued ultimatums here in the stream. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
The results. Alex, what Warhammer 40,000 hobby have you been up to recently?
I thought you were saying, Alex, what's Warhammer 40,000 hobby?
But as a
Eddie, you don't know?
Desperate for these flamethrower Space Marines. The
Shouldn't it be
Infinity
like your job?
I've been converting them all to salamanders.
Nice. What's the nature of the
All right,
conversion?
I'm gonna sit here and sip coffee and listen to these two fine gentlemen banter back and forth.
I've got plenty of the Forge World heads. I know it's not lore accurate, but
So I reckon they've still got a few kicks around.
so
in the vault.
They're killing time. They're killing time right now.
That they brought in
9:04.
for
Come on, boys.
salamanders. They're
Get your shit together.
absolutely fantastic on the Terminators.
Well, one of the nice things about the Stern Guard in the Leviathan set is they do have some kind of relic bits of
Yes.
armor, don't they? So they've got bits of iron armor, shoulder pads, and some Mark 7 helmets and things like that. It's a nice salamander box actually, because you've got some melter kits in there as well. You've got
Sid Tyler.
That's cool.
Apparently, they don't care about having people
guys, if you've
to
managed
play
put the
against.
Leviathan
They
set
complain
up,
about every other
I've seen some
faction
very industrial
and seem to
models
just
who've
be
already managed to
just
kind of
happy to
fully
play against
prime
other Marines.
and,
Yeah,
well
that's
done to
kind
you
of
if
like the
you've managed
vibe,
to
right?
get
Like,
either the whole set or
then
even
why not just go play Horse Heresy?
I managed to get hold
Right?
of,
Like, why not just play Horse Heresy? If all you want is just Marine on Marine combat, hot Marine on Marine combat. Why not just play Horse Heresy, right?
So the assault phase starts at color selection, I always think.
You also painted a screen.
Sophie,
didn't you?
whoever's in charge of
I
selecting what gets
when I was a kid, looking in like the window of
it's made
Games
us
Workshop,
definitely
the
a Space Marine player. Yeah.
the cabinet, and I was really
Alex, I'm
wanted
hoping
one
they show both.
because I was
They're
really
releasing
blind,
their
couldn't afford
codexes
it.
at the same time, so
And
why
now
not?
I'm
Right,
a-
that's
I
true.
got
Yes,
to buy
that's
one.
true, Alex.
So
Yeah,
I bought
I
one
forgot.
and,
Codex is going to drop
the
like
classic
roughly
colour
the same time too. So
actually.
yeah, why
He
not
doesn't
just
fit
preview
anything else
both?
in my collection. He doesn't fit
That's
my
probably
army.
what it
He
is.
looks
Is
very
that they're just
silly
going to show us
from
both
last
anyway.
week,
They
but
just
I now have him. He's
get us really
looking
hyped up, you know,
very nice.
for all
I
this.
remember a friend of the family.
Sit tight. I'm surprised GW has made what they have and still even has factions like Tyranids around. Yeah, for real, right? Like, imagine how many times. Okay, like just think about how many times like the product line has been
I mean, that's actually a
refreshed
net
and
gain
rebooted,
in terms of arms, though,
right?
Which probably isn't true for
and
most
like
brands.
Space Marines
Yeah.
from the
But
very
both
beginning,
cool.
from Rogue
Very
Traders,
good.
Indeed.
has
Awesome.
seen
Let's
the
see if anyone
most
else in the chat there has managed to a few
reimaginings,
fans know
reboots,
successfully completed their
rebrandings,
That's cool. If you have finished
whatever you want to
painting
call it, right?
your forces, either Tyranids or the Space Marine, do share it on social
So
media.
Tyler, because
Hashtag
Horus Heresy
Warhammer
isn't
or
40k, I
hashtag
guess.
40K.
I don't know.
It's
I
really nice to
don't
kind of
really
just
get it
click on those
either,
hashtags
but
and
like
look
you
through
said,
what
it
one
definitely the
has been
vibe.
up to.
Yeah, like I don't understand like why
what's your next
why
one?
not just
What's
play
your-
more Horus Heresy? If you are a gamer and you only like the action between Space Marine and Space Marine or playability, the predictability, yeah, play Horus Heresy. You know, like that's the answer to what you're looking for.
Solid.
Unless of course I don't know. The only reason why I can see a Marine player
So the squig
not
is great
wanting
for,
to
not
play
only just the best model,
Horus
but
Heresy
also the game
over
is genuinely
Warhammer
awesome.
40,000
That grot is almost
is
perfect
because
for a game net
of
for 3 or 4
the
points.
fascist
About half a
tendencies.
point to score, but, you know, that
Because 30k is not fascist enough.
he contributes.
It is, but it's not.
Absolutely.
And 40k, yeah, that's it. That's the only reason. And the memes. The memes, as the kids say.
Because they're really fun to play with in the new edition.
Stephen Fratty, no one saw Parasite and Mortrex coming. True? Yeah, very true. Legion, the true 40k poster boy should be a sassy nerdling. Yeah, it kind of should be, right? It kind of should be. But yeah.
Glorious red flying around because again, basically all of my
Since Tyler, they show both, but whoever wins is the first one. Yeah, I guess,
So I
right?
remember, I think it was the 3rd edition Warhammer 40,000 rulebook had like a really glorious spread of the Wild Riders, just filling a whole page across an ice battlefield.
Yeah, these boys are stalling.
And you also had the
Boys, you're stalling. Let's go.
Craft World.
Says Tyler, Chaos Filth.
Codex Eldar that had
Chaos
the
Filth.
Flameheart character on his little weird jet.
That was my best Chaos
So I'm
voice.
gonna see if I can fit him in as well.
Like whatever kind of voice is
It's
Chaos.
probably not the best way to run an Eldar army.
I mean, I could run like a voice distortion and do that,
spend the time
and just
on
do the
that,
whole
make it
preview like that, but
That's it. At the end of the day,
time.
be annoying.
I've
I'm
got
sure
a
many
nice
people will be
little
like,
army,
that's
happy to
fucking
play
annoying.
with. I've got a Gene Stealer army and they're having a good time at the moment, so I don't need to rush the army. Take my time, make them good.
Boys, let's go.
Cool. All right. How are we doing for time? Oh, we are closing in. I think we got about 1 minute left before we can get to our first reveal video.
God damn it. Go Starman. 8 minutes in, and they haven't shown us the result. They're not fudging the numbers.
Well, if anything catches your eye, Alex, you want to shout out any particularly cool projects that will do? Shown up?
Alex, you want to shout out to anything?
Lots of people.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, lots of people liking.
Is somebody asking which cult have you gone for?
So
Which cult
I
or which
started
cult?
painting my Gene Stealers when Death
Play,
Watch.
that's a play on words, son. That's a play on. That's a joke, son. That's a joke.
So I sort of made my own up to fit with the Tyranid army that I'd started painting before that. So it's the Cult of the
That's a
Mountains,
joke, son.
which is the
Eddie, Alex, let's go.
Hive Fleet,
My God.
which is my Tyranid Hive Fleet.
Killing me.
Very cool.
You guys are killing me.
I made them up because there wasn't any IP when I started. But there's loads of cool stuff now. And if I was doing it again, I'd probably do Bladed Cog because
Bladed
I
Cog?
really like the idea of having kind of uprising on a
I gotta get my ears clean.
field and mixing lots of bionic-y stuff in. But that didn't exist when I started.
I'm just
I didn't
kidding.
do
My ears are
So
perfectly
if I was
clean.
doing it from scratch, that's what I do, but I didn't, so I haven't.
It's the wiring.
There's a lot of people that
It needs to be
start doing
rewired.
it.
Because I think they're awesome, right?
Well, to be fair, they come in that big box.
Yeah, but
It's
as
an
I
excellent
said,
start.
I am an impartial observer.
Of course.
Space Marines equally cool. They're both great. Right. Okay. We can. I think. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, guys. We can now cut to our first video.
Go Starman.
which will announce
Bladed Cock is probably a
winner
Dark Eldar Cabal.
of
Oh,
the
definitely.
Battle for Oghram. So hold on to your seats, guys.
Hold on to your butts. Doing this?
As the Grendulous tendril uncoiled across the Formidire system, its ravenous swarms descended upon the hive world of Oghram. The planet's skies darkened with spore storms and billion-strong swarms of winged biohorrors, and it seemed Oghram was surely doomed. Yet, the Imperial defenders stood firm. For every tide of Tyranids that overran artillery emplacements or boiled through breaches in Imperial fortifications, another was crushed beneath the treads and guns of massed tank formations, strafed to ruin by relentless wings of gunships, or cut to pieces by coordinated space marine strikes. The hunger of the Great Devourer is not so easily denied. Like a wounded beast, the Tyranid swarms reacted as one, and lashed out with ferocious force. In the planet's last hours, what vital relics and personnel could be salvaged were extracted from Oghram at great cost in rearguard troops and escorting void ships. They left behind a world that seethed with Tyranids in their billions.
Hey, the results are in. Let's go. Let's do this. Huh? Planet's fucked.
Oghram was doomed. With its fall, the entire Formidire system, including the vital anchor world of Sanctum, was placed in greater peril than ever before. Reinforcements are coming, and there is a whole galaxy to fight for.
Oh, it's just the beginning, folks. It's just the beginning.
So there we go. The results of the Battle of
There we go.
Oghram are in. It is a Tyranid victory. So congratulations for all of you who were rooting for the Tyranids and who contributed and played your games, sent in your results.
There we go.
Thanks so much for all of you who joined in. Really cool to be able to be part of this kind of.
I'm kind of shocked because I usually these kinds of things it's
lore
Space
as well
Marines
that
that
establishes
win,
that
right?
planet, which is in your Warhammer 40,000 rulebook, by the way. I can't remember the exact page number, but you can go in there with your purple pen and scribble that.
Does Eddie have a hickey on his neck, or has he got like a neck tattoo?
A few bits of details for you guys.
Is that a
who
neck
are tuning
tattoo?
in.
I didn't know Eddie was a neck tattoo kind of
We
guy.
had over 44,000
Part of his
results,
biker gang.
registered, which is really cool. Early on in the campaign,
Hiroki.
it was very, very, very close. Like,
Beautiful day.
Incredibly close. The
Steven,
lead
bugs,
changed
bugs.
several times in the
Go
first
Starman, let's go,
and at
baby.
several points there
Fuck
was
the Imperium.
one or two votes in it, and it was. We had thousands of entries, and it stayed within about 10 votes of each other for ages and ages, and kept like swapping. The Space Marines edged ahead at the end of the first week. And
Space Marines edged.
We put an update out into the world and said, "This is the results as it stand. Space Marines ever so slightly ahead." And at that point, that seemed to
We got head and
galvanise
edging.
Tyranids players and fan base, perhaps. And then we started to see the results in other
Fucking
directions.
Space Marines.
And once that snowball started, it didn't really.
That's why they lost.
And the Tyranids came out
Because they were edging the entire time, and
Result,
then when it came time,
53%
they
to
just,
the Tyranids, 47%.
they just couldn't deliver,
to the
you know?
Space Marines.
So,
So there you go, guys. There you go.
That's awfully close. I remember asking for an update a little while ago, and you said that there was literally, I think it was 18 games in it, and given the thousands and thousands of games.
Alex, please show
That's
plastic
ever
pyro
ever.
biovores.
I think
Ooh,
this
yeah.
is probably the closest.
Yeah, 'cause those need to be updated,
certainly
right?
Early on. What quite often happens is that after about one day, it's very apparent which way the wind is.
Honestly, I can see the
So
Lictor
we're like, oh,
as well being
makes our lives
previewed.
much easier as well because we get to
'Cause they already
start
did the
pretty
Death
far out,
Leaper,
we know
right?
all the things that are going to happen, but you really kept us guessing.
I imagine the Death Leaper and the
last,
Lictor
results
are the same kit. It's just
so,
different
yeah,
bits.
very, very close, very tense, and really cool. But
Ghost Starman, I thought these guys were loyalists, not noise marines.
Two things. The first of them is that some of the people who entered will actually win some prizes, which is cool.
Ooh, some people who actually
So those
entered
people
will win,
have,
as opposed to the people who didn't actually enter.
Keep an eye out on your inbox. For
Ghost
that.
Starman, yeah,
We've got
no
5
way they
people
update Death Leaper,
stuff
but
for
not
entry,
the standard
which is
Lictor.
cool.
Yeah, exactly, right? I
What
mean,
most people have tuned in.
I'm
for
thinking
today
the
is
Lictor
have
kit
look
is
at
a dual thing.
The new
You can either do it as the Death Leaper or the
So we
Lictor.
can now
I'm
take
calling
a
that
look
one
at
right
some
now.
of the new Tyranids.
Lictor?
We have a few
Didn't even
videos
know
to
her.
go through, new things on the way for Tyranids. So without further ado, let's have a look at the first
Oh,
film.
here we go. Let's do this. Oh, Gene Stealers. Gen Stealers. Nice. I like them. I'm in. Yeah, those are awesome. That's a fantastic looking update.
So, some brand new Gene Stealers. So, very, very cool. Gene Stealers, obviously,
Gene Stealers.
absolutely iconic part
Oh, yes.
of Warhammer 40,000 lore. Alex, you know all about Gene Stealers. What are these guys about?
Yeah, so these guys, as you said, they've been around for ages. In fact, they were possibly one of the first things that the Imperium encountered for the
Yeah, Space Hulk,
man. On Imgal, where they assumed
No, yeah, Hiroki, yeah, very clean, yeah. No, I like him. I like that. I like this decision that they've retained the look and have basically just reposed and cleaned up and, you know,
I wouldn't necessarily say common, but
made them more visually interesting.
Widespread.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I like that. I
because you often
approve.
get them, say,
I approve.
hiding away on transport
I don't like when they
lines,
change too many things or
burying under a
characteristics
hide, or they're
and,
just awaiting the day of
you know,
ascension.
and it doesn't feel like it
Or
adds
they'll be,
to it. And
say,
in fact, it takes away and makes it
them on
feel
a
softer and
So
goofier.
these guys could be anywhere, and they probably are everywhere.
Yeah. So if you're in the
Box of 10 too,
probably
yeah.
never more than about 20 meters from a gene stealer. Is that what you're saying?
That's
Oh,
not
these
what I would
these
say
kits are
for,
going to sell like mad because
imperial
gene stealers are
reasons,
good.
but,
Fair enough.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. But this is a really exciting kit for a bunch of reasons. One of them
Hell,
is that
I
it's
probably
great
would want to
when
get a
we see
couple
like
boxes of
classic
these
kit reimagined.
just to
These are
do
really
Space
cool
Hulk
dynamic miniatures.
with the boarding
It's a
actions
long time coming
rules.
for a new multi-part Gene Stealer kit. Obviously, you can use these in a few ways. You can absolutely
can stick them in your bum.
Tyranid army as Gene
Oh.
Stealers. I'm quite sure that a lot of Gene Stealer cult players like myself will also be eyeing these up for pure strain Gene Stealers because they fit perfectly
Sid Tyler,
well
they steal
into,
genes. Anyway, next
a,
reveal.
into a Gene Stealer cult force. There's a few things worth
Sid Tyler, are
calling
you a
out
Marine
about
player?
the kit itself, aren't there?
Yes.
So
Are you
we've got some
into the
close-ups
Marines?
in the next picture, so we can talk
Here
about
we
some
go.
of the options.
Oh,
which I think for the most
Zoidbergs.
part are aesthetic.
Yes.
That's some
You'll
Zoidbergs going. Oh, look at that, the
lean
head.
into and make this unit the one you want.
Look at the one. He's got
You
the
can see
pus
there at the
sacks
top
on his
left,
face.
The Imgal.
Oh, that's
head,
cool.
Those little feeder tendrils, so that if there's any brain matter left, they can gobble
Delicious
it up
brain.
and see,
Oh,
see
yummy
what's going on.
brains.
And I believe there is enough of those in the kit to make the entire set Imgal Gene Stealers.
So that's
Really?
cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
so
cool.
If you've got
Whole army of Zoidbergs chasing you around.
Yes.
So either want them
Fuck
to
yeah.
look like
I'm in.
you know, first
I'm in.
contact Gene Stealers from the moons of Imgal, or you've kind of lent into that kind of horrors from the deep kind of vibe for your
Sophie, this would be a perfect time for them to update Space Hulk. I think they could just put out a PDF how to play Space Hulk, or make an updated version of Space Hulk, or a 40K version, or a Kill Team version, or you know whatever. Right? It doesn't have to quite be an update to Space Hulk,
I think
although they could.
That's the thing that's going to be implanting the.
But they could
into
just give you
the,
Space Hulk in the
host.
game, right? Because there's
Probably not
Terminators,
to think too much
got
about
Gene Stealers,
how that
and we
works,
have
exactly what it means for the host. But yeah,
interior
unpleasant
walls of a
things happen
spaceship, right, to make a
once-
Space
once
Hulk.
Gene Stealers get within,
And away you
within a
go.
meter or so.
That's it. You've recruited for the cult or the.
So Tyler, he has that what
yes,
on his
the
face?
chat called it the
The
Ovipod.
tentacles.
That is indeed the correct name. Yeah.
Got the hentai tentacles going on.
So a few color schemes on there as well. Obviously, Gene
I like
Stealers
the
have a
like
kind
the
of
sacks.
normal.
That Gene Stealer's got a nice sack.
Very recognizable purple and blue palette, which is the one you can see top left there. That is the one they tend towards when they're left kind of out in Space Hulks and things by themselves, which is quite kind
Yeah,
of
I don't know why
exciting,
Gene
but
Stealers
that's
get such a
the
bad rap.
light
I mean, look at the
and
guys on the right.
But you can
Like,
also paint them.
they're happy
obviously
looking.
in line
He's
with
coming in
the-
for a hug.
the High Fleet you've got.
He's
So
like,
you've got High
I
Fleet
haven't
as you can
seen
see there
you
on the right.
in a long time.
Perfectly cool
Come here,
running
guy.
around in,
Give me a hug.
bone
And the other guy in the back is like, hey,
whatever
man,
other
it's been a long time since I've seen you. He's waving. See the guy up on the building up in the upper left
As you said,
of
we've
the center
done
Gene
some
Stealer?
an update
He's
of
waving
the
at us. He's like, hi.
kit
How
that-
are you?
Yeah, it had
I
some
missed
great
you.
running kind of poses to it. He's now, you can imagine him running through like a Space Hulk corridor or a ship coming, you know,
Oh,
bursting
fuck.
through the door. And there's a couple of them that are, say, jumping off planes.
Yeah, I like these options. I like the Gene Stealers. I like the multi-pose of them.
These
Yeah.
guys- and you can see that.
Goes to Starman. The Imperium is afraid of intimacy. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I like the,
exactly it.
elongated
Right?
arms they've got as
Think
well.
about
I
it.
think if you look
Like
at
your
the
statement is
length
very,
of
very
the-
true.
The talons and
The
length of arms
Imperium
compared to
is afraid
some of the older
of
Gene
intimacy.
Stealers we've got. They seem more alien and more weird.
Yes.
So
And
they've
yeah,
got
Gene
that
Stealers, there's coming.
weird,
Because what do
tyranid,
Gene Stealers really
arm,
do?
and then they've got their much more
They find people who are
you
lonely,
can imagine opening
they
doors.
bring them into their
They're
group,
just like absolutely horrible.
and they
terrifying
answer their
monsters.
dreams
But I'm
with
absolutely
children.
putting them on my army.
And they bring more and more children. They bring
so that's
more
one
and more
unit. That
joy
was
to their
cool. Nice to see
lives.
some new
So Gene Stealers really are
Tick one off the
a happy little
unit.
group
I think
of
this might be a
of
few more
aliens,
things on the
really.
way. Let's have a look at the next unit.
The next unit. Oh, Hormigons! Oh, look at these guys! Oh, I loves me some Hormigons. Oh, yeah. Huh. Oh, look at the weapons. Ah.
So, some new gaunt options for your
Go.
Tyranids. There is a new multi-part Hormigant unit, which is very cool, and you've got an expansion to the
Boom.
Termagant unit.
GCOs are often sent to HR
First in the Leviathan set. So,
for inappropriate
if you
touching.
look at the Hormigants first. So this is a kit that has been in plastic for a little while, but certainly has been showing its age a bit. So very cool to see a new.
I love
more
all the different
detailed,
poses.
Very cool, very dynamic unit of Hormigants. They are absolutely recognizably the Hormigants that you kind of imagine in your mind.
Oh,
The
yeah.
level of detail on them, the dynamism, the speed.
That's just gonna look great when you got like 50 of them on a table and they're all just like, and you pack all the models real close so it just looks like a proper horde. That'll look amazing on the tabletop.
The last time we saw Hormigants.
It'll scare the shit out of your opponents.
They're the basic battle line for the Tyranids, and they'll get dropped onto planets and ships, you name it, just in their billions. And
Alex,
they
no,
make up the quality
none wobbly Hormigons? No, yeah, no.
And they've got all the teeth, all the
Steven
claws.
Gaunt's looking fresh as well. Yeah, no, these guys are looking good. I like I like how they've kind of made the carapace a little bit more spikier, a little bit sharper
And they're
looking.
quite fast as well, so they tend to be.
No, I think like these updates that they've been doing for these for the models that they've been like rebranding kind of thing. I'm approving of these updates that they've not really changing the look. They're keeping the character, but you know,
getting loads of them up,
basically like bringing us from 480 to 1080 kind of thing. You know, it's upping the resolution.
Going near objectives and that sort of stuff. So a really cool unit.
Hopefully they'll be able to stand properly. Oh, I think they will. I think they will.
Units they wanted to see. So there you go. Hormigants ticked off. Some more of those on the way.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Closer look at some of those.
I love that one that looks like it's running.
Some of them in a very.
It kind of reminds me of like a raptor.
As well.
The one in the at the about the 10 o'clock position.
And a Ripper Swarm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks cool.
A few of the Tyranid units come with a Ripper Swarm.
Even the one at the 5 o'clock
Once
position.
you've collected a Tyranid army, you will have a.
I really like when when these things look like they're in running, or even leaping as well too.
Entire Ripper army.
I mean, you could try to do a Ripper army. I'm not
saying
sure.
it would be competitive.
Hiroki, stunning, yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
So there's going to be like $300 worth of models through though, Kris.
So Hormigans, very cool. We've also got some new Termagants.
Termagants with their gun weapons,
Termagants,
yeah.
Obviously, we've seen the first of those.
Sophie, the weapons look better, yeah.
In the Leviathan box, but this
Hiroki,
kit
tempted to do some
that
nids for
the
just display painting?
Leviathan
Yeah,
set didn't
do
have.
it.
So, Alex, do you want to talk
Whatever
about
inspires you, you know.
So as we saw,
Follow that inspiration. Just do it.
So that's basically like a little borer
No?
beetle that's inside and flings itself out and then chews its way through
Yeah,
the
this-
target.
These guys look
You
good.
get, several different options in this one. You've got
The guy in the middle,
classic kind of
that
spin
gun,
blasts, firing out little bits of chitin at the enemy.
I have concerns.
The devourers that you can see there on the vast majority of them.
Instead
That's all I'm gonna say.
Just fires loads of grubs.
Yeah, like that,
Oh, I see. It's
basically just-
they all have the
And so when it fires those out, then the little.
What was it, the
process
hive
is a lot
gun or
more
whatever?
Involved. If it's not acid, if it's not digestive fluid.
and then they got the rifle and you got the barbed thingy.
You've also got,
Then the guy in the center, he's got the big.
down on the left.
I don't know. It's like some sort of fisting gun or something. But
Very so it's basically the same kind of parasitic weapon that we've seen with
Alex, my wife will be pleased.
Got
Not my
in the
wallet,
middle
however.
there is the
Yeah, for sure.
Strangle web launcher. And then
Oh,
you've
is that
got
what that is? The
Sling
web
Web
launcher? Okay.
There next to him. I believe you've got one of these, but the old
Yeah,
school
so
version.
some of these are really deep cut harks back
Mm-hmm.
to some of the very early Termagant miniatures that came out in metal in second edition, I think it was. So I've got a very old Termagant at home with a spike rifle.
so I imagine is
Effectively, what
like
these
the extra
options do
guns
is
are just
you throw in
options.
some special weapon options. Effectively,
Yeah.
into your Termagants.
Like having your
much
plasma
the same
gun
way
and
that you
shit
might have
in the unit.
Devour?
Yeah, I think it's Devour, yeah.
Or an Astra Militarum squad with like a plasma gun in it, or a flamer or something.
Like I imagine you
Give
probably
a
do the
little
unit
bit
up
of
with
tactical
flesh
flexibility
borers
to kind
or
of
the
throw in some other
Devourer,
weird
and then of
secondary
course you can
weapons,
throw in
which
the
is kinda
rifle, the
cool,
web,
as well.
barb
So you've
strangler,
got some-
and
a bit more option and
I can't
flexibility.
remember what that
in
new
terms
gun
of
is
what you
called.
wanna
One
do
with
with the
that looks like it's a
Tyranid
shoulder
unit,
mounted
which,
thing.
If you've been Tyranids for 20+ years, also has like a nice little nostalgia.
I love the way the weapons are molded. So the way the
Yeah,
Tyranids
boop.
tend to
Yeah,
work
special
is
weapons
the
and gaunt
weapon
squads now.
is
Yeah,
separate
yeah, I like that.
long
No, that's
to the
good.
main body of the Tyranid. And you can see.
So tell you, yeah, some units don't need radical redesign. I was worried when those Fire Warriors came out years ago, but because I saw the Breachers helmets first and was like, for fuck's sakes, yeah. No, I know.
that kind
Same
of-
here.
you can
I mean,
get this
I
level of definition
I still get
and
anxiety whenever they start talking about Eldar updates.
The paint scheme on
Because
these
I
the new
remember
weapons
when they
that these
updated them
guys
in
upon
during
The
third
paint
edition,
schemes on these is
and
really
they
nice
were
as well. So you've
they
got,
were not
like,
pretty at
you
all.
can
I did
tell
not
where
care for
the,
them. I'm sorry, whoever designed the third edition
just
Eldar
sort of
change.
so that the heavy metal
Yeah,
team
I'm
obviously
sorry, but
done a wonderful job
I
of
did not care for
capturing
those
that.
models at all.
If you wanted to paint these much faster, you'd be well within your rights to just go. Actually, you know what? Everything.
The spike rifle looks cool, though.
One color and the armor plates. Are
I wonder if it has like a long
different.
range. I wonder if it's like a
If you
Tau
wanted to
rifle
with contrast
in
paints and
regards.
things, or if you wanted to.
And I imagine the
really make them
Weber gun there,
beautiful models.
Barb Strangler.
Absolutely.
I imagine that probably
I
slows down
really like the
charges
spike
or
rifle.
something.
I
Slows
think
down your
it's
opponent.
just pure nostalgia for me. That's really cool. But the one top right. Sorry, remind me of the name on that one.
that is the strangle web.
The strangle web. I love how the tube is coming out of him into the gun in a sort of really weird.
He likes how the tube's coming out of
way.
him.
So a lot of the Tyranid weapons aren't. It's not like a partnership, is it? It's kind of sucking.
I was going to say something rude there.
The weaponry.
I forgot. Oh yeah, I'm doing a live stream. I can't talk like that.
Yeah, it's
What am I saying?
It's just a walking battery for a gun.
Sid Tyler, man, they really went out of their way to make that gun look like
Kind of,
what it looks like. Yeah, exactly, right? That's exactly.
They were like white blood cells.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was
Kind
thinking.
of do the job
That
and
they
task
took a lot of effort to make that gun look the way that gun looks.
the bodies are constructed because obviously they're all gaunts.
Yeah.
But these guys, they're a little bit more crouched down and compact for getting.
Sophie didn't know the name,
Are a little bit
but
more
there's one
spread
that's
out.
has a cannon thing on their back, and that would
speed in them as well.
Yeah.
Good
So
with
when
a
the
resculpt.
high
Yeah.
ships are
Biovores, yeah,
deployed,
yeah.
it tends to be the turtle
Biovore,
things that
Pyrovores.
are awake, aren't they?
Yes.
They're the kind of
And I imagine too,
trolls
if
that
we
are
get
running around
Biovores
fighting
and
Pyrovores,
Pyrovores,
cleaning out
you
any
know,
kind of body who's
I'd imagine those will all
fully
be the same
on
kit,
board hive ship.
right?
Can't think of much
Hell,
worse,
I mean,
to
if
be
you're gonna
honest. Some people
retool
might try it.
the Biovore for Pyrovores,
Yeah, they'd give it a go.
they might even give us a new kind of
Absolutely.
Vor.
Right. That's very cool. I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but I think we
Holy man.
we can probably jump ahead to our next one. So we've seen some new Gene Stealers. We've
Yeah,
seen
seen
some
Gene
new
Stealers.
Gaunts.
Gaunts, yeah.
Here's some slightly bigger stuff.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Lictor. Death Leaper. What is it? Death. Oh, it's a Lictor. That is cool. Oh, that's the Death Leaper. Yeah, we already saw the Death Leaper. What's that? Oh, it's a Psychic Leaper. Or Lictor. What the hell's that?
So
That's cool.
Lictors obviously have been a big part of the Tyranid force pretty much since they've been with us in Warhammer 40,000.
Smile of War.
But it's not just one new Lictor we've got for this new edition.
Oh, look at this
Already
thing.
we've seen the Von Ryan's Leapers, which we saw in the Leviathan box set and the starter sets for Warhammer 40,000. We also have Classic Lictor.
Oh my God.
What are these guys?
That looks
Lictor
fantastic.
is basically, it's sort of the original Vanguard organism. The Lictors would show up on different planets. They've got chameleonic skin, so they can blend in, hide.
Alex, I like. Yeah, me too. I don't even play Tyranids, and I like this. This is freaking
But they can
cool,
also- You
man.
can see there with the feeder tendrils that say they've killed the
That's
commander.
like
Pop off the head,
that's a completely new model.
send it back.
It's coming. It has been a very drastic change from the original.
They're the equivalent of, say,
Yes,
assassin.
it's immediately recognizable as a Lictor.
The lay of the land. You've got some.
I think that's
and
really
cause some trouble.
really great.
These
I think that's
guys,
some really great
they do scout
work
from
on
ahead, sort of in the same way
the design
that
team.
Steelers do, but the outcomes are very different.
Walk that fine line between
So
you
you'd have
know
a few of the-
people who
once
are very
you've basically
nostalgic
got,
and
a few
love this
Lictors on
stuff
your
and
planet, they
wow.
all send that kind of call out, don't they, to the
Yes.
Hive Fleet? So they tend to kind of somehow infiltrate into the planet ahead of time. If there's lots of juicy biomass, they'll scout it out, not just calling the fleet in, but also kind of getting.
he has like multiple
literally
poses.
pulling information out of the minds of enemy commanders and things.
That's really cool.
It's often one of the troubles when you've got, say, a planet that's been invaded. You've got lots of refugees coming off the planet. There's always that.
Not gonna lie, this stuff is cool.
Either a Lictor
This is
hidden
cool.
on board, chameleonized in the hold, or there's going to be some Gene Stealers on board. And I'm
I like the
not sure
look.
which is worse.
Yeah, so they've some options in the kit as well, which you can see there. So the first Lictor we saw very kind of I suppose, poison.
Yeah, the crowns. Yeah,
resistance,
Alex.
the
Yeah, the
armor
crowns are
count.
cool. Yeah.
This one in the Behemoth.
Even
Galaxy
Lictor looks
is
very
much
big,
more kind
very
of
nice.
crouched. So
They all
this
look
one looks
really
like
cool,
it's
yeah.
made
So Tyler,
stealth,
the Psych
so
Tor?
you can
Psych
imagine
Tor?
tucked into the shadow in a rock somewhere, or kind of scouting around the edge of.
To tell, yeah, it's amazing
They're quite
update.
big
You have the
models,
arms
so they're
open and closed.
slightly
Yeah,
bigger than,
I like that. How
Tyranid
yeah,
warriors, so they're
it's kind of like
standing taller
relaxed,
than, like,
or
a
it's like
Terminator or
out, like it's
something. So
you know.
even one Lictor jumping onto a squad or something is usually
Hold
enough
on,
to
wait.
take out a small infantry squad.
Is
or
it one in a
small
box or is this a
vehicles,
unit?
Things like that. In game terms, they've got some really fun mechanics to kind of represent some of that stuff. So they get infiltrate, which means they can start kind of wherever they want to on the battlefield, but almost not anywhere, but quite a lot of places. They have strike first, which means that even when they get charged, they get to kind of fight you first. They've got lone operative, which means they're quite hard to pick out and target. They've got stealth, which means they're harder to hit. They've got precision on their weapons, so that means that when
Starman,
they
probably one in the box.
fight
They're
a
often
unit,
lone operative. Oh, they're a lone
basically
operative. Okay, yeah,
pick
then
out
it's
command
probably
and
one in the
eat
box.
those first, which is really cool. And then to go along with that, they've also got an ability that when you kill enemy characters, you gain command points.
It's just because
So it represents you
the possibility
brain
of
the
that
commander and
two
getting vital
very
intel.
different looking
So all that
poses
cool lore
threw
that
me
they've
off
always
because
had
like
is actually really well represented in
that
the way
feels
you
like
play in the game now, which is
there's
really
too
cool.
many bits in the
But it's not just
box
Lictors, we've got
that you
more
can
cool
make
stuff.
basically two different models, right?
This
Oh!
guy. So this is a Neurolictor. So this is a
Neurolictor.
brand new thing. We've never seen this guy
That
before.
name.
It's
Boys,
a
you guys had to-
variant
you guys had
from
to-
the kind of Lictor genus.
Lictor genus?
Neurolictor.
Neurolictor, yes, they're essentially a variant of the Lictor. And
Holy
their deal
shit.
is basically terror and confusion. If anybody was on the
Neurolictor.
Leviathan, the big Leviathan,
Damn near got her.
that involved one of the Neurolictors.
Anyway,
things they like to do.
it looks cool. I like it. I dig it.
They'll spike them. Basically, it's referred to by the Imperials as the mark of the Neurolictor. And basically, a bunch of the guys on the battle line turn their weapons on their friends. They're panicked. They forget what they've seen. They might let other vanguard organisms through.
Oh.
Basically, it sows terror and.
Now wait a second. Is this a unit
and
that's
on
in the
battlefield
box
as
or
well.
in the index right
Find
now?
them on the tabletop. They can.
Is this in the index? I don't think this is it?
And
I never heard of it.
Battle shock tests. Some pretty.
That'd have been making this Neurolictor joke
So it
for
combos
a
really nicely
while.
with some of the other abilities that you've got with Tyranids that they
Yeah,
do
Ghost
have a lot
Stern.
of
This is new. Yeah, okay. So this probably won't come out
mechanics
until the
that
codex
if you
comes
fail
out
the
then.
battle shock, then X happens, and they've got other ways of making you take battle shock tests.
Sid, I
adding
still
bonuses
prefer
to hit and
Sigtor.
minuses to you if you've taken battle shock, and this is basically another unit that does some of that.
It kind of sounds like a
It also
He-Man
fights
character,
pretty well,
Sigtor.
so it's still a Lictor, so
Or
it's still got
Sector.
your kind of precision attacks and you're infiltrating and your fights first.
This thing's
and all
cool,
that
though.
sort of thing. So it's another. If you want to lean very heavily into the kind of Lictor archetype and have multiple
look at
vanguard
the
organism-y things in your
Tentacle
army,
thing coming out of his
this
brain.
is a psychic tool that you can add to the already pretty horrible combat tools that you've got.
That's it.
So there he is in a cool color scheme there, just chowing down on some Drakari. So there you go. Yeah, but very, very cool.
just
model.
chewing down on
Look at the back
Drakari,
of the
just-
model
yeah.
there. There's a weird kind of parasitic
Hiroki.
thing.
Neurolictor
The more you
these
look at
nuts.
these models, the more you find kind of weird psychic organisms, parasites and stuff.
Yeah,
All-
these nuts.
there's loads of
Neurolictor these nuts.
I've said before, like you can absolutely paint them very quickly and just go. There's some bits that are purple and some bits that are
Yeah.
brown.
Oh,
or you
fuck,
can
that's
really
funny.
spend your time and kind of paint all
It's a good one. You got me, Hiroki. You got me.
parasites,
You got me.
and all sorts of different colours if you wanted to. So
There's been a real expansion.
Bubenheimer, Nero Tyrant, Nero Gaunts, Nero Lictor. Do we get a Neurofex? Ooh, Neurofex sounds kind of cool, actually.
cool.
Neurolictor sounds funny.
So we've seen this model before. This is a Death Leaper.
Neurofex sounds cool, though.
The reason
Psychic
we brought him
tank?
back is just to give you a piece of information about how the Tyranid army.
Ghost of Starman.
work.
Looks like this guy's a
So
separate
obviously
kit
we've
to the
got
standalone
Rise
one.
Leaper,
Yeah.
We've got
Death Leaper. This model's
we've
just
got
cool.
the Neurolictor, and if you wanted to as well, you've got the Imgal.
Now, this is supposed to be like a character, right?
Tentacle
The
faces.
Death Leaper. It's not
One
like
of the
a
ways
normal
you'll be
unit
able to
that's
play
in
the Tyranid
like,
army,
a
when
whole
the
bunch
codex
of them. It's not like
releases,
a
is
you
you can
know,
effectively make them a
subspecies
vanguard
kind of thing or
force.
whatever.
And what that does is it gives you a bunch of bonuses to your vanguard style organisms like Lictors and Death Leapers and Neurolictors, and you've got enough models now that actually you can kind of just have those if you want. If you just want a kind of mantis strikey weird.
Yeah,
army, you
I
can
can't
do
like.
that. If you do
It's
that,
like I'm
you
looking
can
at
take
these
that
three
kind of
models,
army, you can
and I'm
take
trying
Death
to
Leaper
like
as
see
your-
how they're all the same kit.
Cool.
Like they're on the
This
same,
guy
coming in the same
basically
box.
is your
Because it feels like you could build these three characters
he
separately
represents the
and,
rest of
like,
those
you know,
Lictor style genus.
unless they are all separate. It's just they're showing them together because they're all,
probably one
like,
of the most
you know,
horrific
based off
armies
the
to fight
Lictor,
against
right?
in the entire galaxy, and that's saying something because the galaxy is pretty
that's it.
awful.
So this guy, yeah, he's basically an advanced.
But yeah, I mean, these are
Instead of
vastly
just
different.
doing the kind of lictory stealth, hidey, chameleonic thing, this guy's all about terror. So if one of your commanders has been assassinated and you know it was a lictor, it may very well have been this guy. He's going to lead
Alex,
the
Death
forces
Leaper
out
gives you
where
Gears of War vibes.
to
Yeah.
devour heads. But as you say, these are really
Boop. Death Leaper is a
nice
unique
scenes
character. Yeah.
in
Okay, it is. Yeah.
This chap leading your vanguard organisms, killing things left and right.
Yeah, this thing's cool.
Lictors going around.
I like the Death Leaper.
Maybe, you know,
And I like that
lines,
they gave us something different with that cloak. Yeah, that
and
fleshy
the
cloak.
commander, if he's not been killed yet, he's
Or like a
gonna go
jellyfish
crazy.
or
And you can imagine
squids
the
or whatever, you know.
structure's gone. How easy it's going to be for the rest of the hive to come.
That's
in
a cool looking model.
and out everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, very exciting stuff for Tyranny players. Some really interesting ways to approach that army too. I think also
Yeah, very inspired design choice. Yes, definitely.
Kind of really lean into that kind of chameleonic style. There's lots of very interesting ways you can
Chameleonic.
approach the paint scheme for that.
Eddie, you fucking made that up.
Right? We're not done yet. We've got some more things. So we've seen the line troops, we've seen the strike troops, we've seen the infiltrating troops. They're
Okay.
going to need some fire support.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Need a big
let's have
fat
look at our
beastie.
Next video.
Ooh, here we go. Bring on the big uns. What the hell's that? Here's your devastating wound monster right here. Burninate them, man.
So as I think Raf said before we started this stream,
Hmm.
guns never tire, which I thought was a great line. So there you are.
Big
So
beastie
these are
with
the
big
new,
gun.
Artillery beasts for the Tyranids. They are both refreshes, but really significant miniature refreshes of some classic units. So first off, we've got the Biovore. So Biovore has been part of the Tyranid army since I think second edition. Changed a few times over the years in terms of its aesthetic. I remember a very early one, and then it kind of became a bit orky, and then it became a little bit less orky.
Okay, so this is a redesign then. If this is the Biovore, then this is a.
is very cool and kind of absolutely in keeping with.
I like it.
Delivering artillery kind of aspect.
I'm not a
looks like
diehard
a kind of
Tyranid
heavy
fan, so
thing
I'll
with
I'll leave that
aesthetic
kind of
and
criticism up to
mixing
them.
around
but-
and,
That's
and
it.
fires.
The big claws you can see.
I like that cannon.
To kind of give it that stability.
Yeah. So what do we know about Biovores, Alex?
So the Biovores, big living artillery pieces, after anchoring themselves into the ground.
Boop, it looks
quite
bugger
spurs.
or bigger.
As you can see there.
Yeah, it looks like it's bigger.
Spore mines. So they're
It definitely
basically
fits
sort of
better, I think,
sort of
with
big
the
set looking
Tyranids.
bit at the back of the gun.
Whereas
There's a
the
massive muscle
the old
slap
version,
as they fire them out.
it was kind of hilarious, you know, especially when it had like the big muscly arms. It just,
And if they
you know,
land and immediately explode, they will float along and then explode.
Yeah. So if we talk about the miniature for a little bit to start with, so this is really different looking, I think, from the previous.
yeah, no, I
So
personally,
it has much more
I
of
think
a,
this fits with the
almost
Tyranids
rat-like
better.
Insectoid aesthetic.
But unfortunately though, I mean, I don't. When I first saw this, I was not like, oh, this is the Biovore.
Little shell to
Didn't
it.
think that at all.
Imagine it scuttling, whereas before it was almost lumbering.
Yeah, a little bit clumsy almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously one of the things about Tyranids is that they evolve, they get better at whatever the form is that they need to take to do the job properly. They'll eventually kind of reach it. The cannon on the
So
back
if it
I
loads
think
better,
is
improvement, yeah,
is a pretty
Alex,
scary
sick,
looking
yeah. Sit down. I like anything with a big phallic gun. Oh, of course.
In game terms, these do a few things for you. So people who've been playing Tyranids for a long time will be kind of familiar with the
And
concept,
Tyranids,
but
you know, I mean, they've
fundamentally
wanted big
does a
guns
couple
in their
things
army
for you.
before,
The
right?
first thing
So
it does is it
now
gives
they
you
got one.
long-range artillery support. Crucially, it can fire at stuff that it can't see, so that's really useful. It's got indirect fire. That's great for kind of catching little enemy units that are hiding in buildings and sitting on objectives, thinking they're quite heavy. The other thing that it does, which is really useful, is that you can litter spore mines around the battlefield, and that's great because you can block off bits of the battlefield and do clever
Block off
stuff
bits.
with blocking enemy units and making them have to take damage if they move to certain places, and just mind games basically. So it does more for you than if it was just a big gun on the back of a bug. Basically.
That's it.
Yeah. So
So tell I do miss the big
so
arms
when
because
you
they
build
look like they
kits,
work
this is a
like
dual
anchors,
kit.
which
You
would
can
really
also
work with
build
this
it
design.
as a
Spider rear
pyrovore.
legs,
So
massive
this
anchoring
is
ones in the front. Yeah.
looks sort of similar on the face of it, but has a very
Pyrovore,
different
oh, okay.
battlefield role. Alex, what's a pyrovore?
So these guys get a little bit closer. These are essentially pre-digestion beasts.
You know what? These things look more like tanks. They look more like tanks.
And they gobble up all the biomass. These guys.
Now I'm thinking,
there first.
what fucking anime has this design?
Start melting things down.
There's an anime. Is it Ghost in the Shell?
Nutrients and stuff thereafter. So when
Is it Ghost in the Shell that she at the end she's fighting a big monster like this?
And yeah, so
It's like a robot.
It's basically dripping with acid, and the big gun on top, instead of firing spore mines, basically fires out a burning chemical
Stephen Fratty.
flame.
It's really great narrative design language, having the Orkoid-based biovore being fully integrated into Tyranid style over time, now completely losing its original genetic contribution. Yeah,
in
sure.
game terms, this
I mean,
has
you know,
almost
however you want to
the
justify
biovore.
the
The
quite
biovore
radical
sits at the back of the
change.
battlefield,
Yeah.
Probably on your
I mean,
field,
I'm for it. I
lobbing
mean,
small mines across the battlefield.
I think this fits in better with
Is it
Tyranids than the
scuttling
previous
forward
design.
or podding in with a Tyrannocyte or something, and then basically forming the part of your early assault.
I wonder what Tyranid guard will
The
look
enemy
like.
For, either for eating or for assault phase or something like that. It also, in game terms, it's got an ability to kind of take away.
Ghost in the Shell
cover.
has the spider
You can imagine
tanks,
it's kind of
a few
literally
others,
burning
but
through
it's
their
the
cover.
popular one.
You can
Yeah.
hide behind a
But that's
tree,
that's what this reminds me of, because didn't they have those spider
weird
tanks? Didn't they have a big
bioacid
gun on top of
just
them?
A little steaming puddle, and you're exposed to the firepower of the rest of the Tyranid forces.
I don't really
One of my
remember.
favourite things about this is as it did.
Hiroki, the silhouette is kind of scorpion-like. Yeah.
Stuffed full of.
Steven, the first SAC episode has a spider tank with a similar style. Yeah.
Explode and kill you.
Yeah, because this design feels
You can
familiar.
also explode and kill your own troops, so you do need to be a little bit careful
That is
about exactly where you put them. So if you've got little squads of these running around, there is a danger sometimes that they can do a little bit of damage to, which is why you want to throw them right into the middle of the enemy early on, so that when they explode, that it's the enemy that take the hits. But yes,
Big gonorrhea bugs just spraying
relatively
gonorrhea
respectable, I
everywhere.
suppose.
Oh, it
Probably
burns.
Dropping these in alongside some Tyranid warriors or some gene stealers or something like that, so they kind of support them, but close range fire support basically.
That's it. Soften up the target.
Yeah, very very cool. Okay, so. We've seen loads of stuff so far. We've seen new Gene Stealers, we've seen new Gaunts, we've seen loads of new Lictors, we've seen some fire support.
Lictor. Near Lictor.
The last of
Damn
our
near
Tyranid
Lictor.
previews, we have the largest new miniature on its way for the Tyranids. Let's take a look at our last model.
Dragon? What's this? Holy shit. What is that? Oh my god. Holy moly. What is that?
So that was the Norn Emissary. This is a terrifying, giant new synapse psychic monster. Does everything, doesn't it? It's a huge new terror for the Tyranids. So, Alex, what do we know
That
about
is
Norn?
cool.
So the when the High Fleet
Oh my
want
God.
something done and they want it done right, they're going to send one of these. So when we think of like a big synapse creature, we think of it. Like
That head design, it kind of reminds me of something out of
charging
StarCraft.
part of the army, or it's going to be a monstrous creature.
Norn Emissary, yeah.
Sort of task as part of the army, but not.
I wonder if we're gonna get a Norn Queen.
Created for a very specific purpose, and they're given essentially a level of individuality, so they can make decisions on the fly to benefit them to complete their mission, which is something we don't really see with any of the Tyranids. They're not given any kind of self-control, whereas the
Well, he's big brain.
emissary,
This guy literally is big brain.
whatever leeway it needs to complete its task.
I mean, look at the size of his brains, man. His brains go all the way back to the very back of his head.
They're sort of a super.
Well, I imagine everybody's brains go to the back of their head, but you know what I mean? Like it stretches all the way to the back. His face is like fucking
potential.
2 meters away.
So if we can have a look at the model to start with, this is a big kit. So like that is a
Stephen,
hefty base.
Norn's on the
Standing
battlefield,
taller
yeah.
than a Wraith Lord basically on the battlefield. So it's a big old monster standing taller than things like
That's like, oh,
anything else
you know.
is plastic basically in your current Tyranid.
Be cool, because I mean, like Norn,
He's got
like
loads of,
the idea of the Norn
he's got
queens
kind
and
of
stuff.
up-close killing, so he's got
that was
huge
like
great
introduced
size,
like
he's
back
got
in Epic.
his claws,
And
he's got
now we
pretty
have like
significant
Epic coming out.
ranged
I wonder if we'll see a
firepower
Norn
as well.
Queen
So
in
when you're
Epic
coming up against this
whenever
guy,
they introduce Xenos.
He's going to be blasting you with kind of psychic bolts as well. As we've seen with some
His
of the
brains
other
go all the way
kits,
down his
the
back.
Tyranids, there are loads of like
Got tons of
really
brains.
lovely, luscious little details all over this.
This thing
in
is
terms of
fucking
the way
amazing.
that what initially looks to be one creature is actually like a composite of loads of different symbiotes. So you look on the back there, and you've got weird little I guess they're
Alex,
kind of booster.
Nid's finally getting a knight class model. Do you think this is a knight
Those
class?
could individually each be.
I can't tell how big it is.
So,
I mean,
you know,
they probably are.
Yeah. So if you
I have no idea how
get
big that
more and
base
more,
is.
Capable, you just keep adding brains.
Yeah, so maybe each one of those is like a detail of the task or something like this one knows all the planetary codes for the world you're trying to go to, and this one has all we know about the Codex Astartes. So if some of those Space Marines turn up, you can eat them, or something like that.
This thing is freaking cool.
A very impressive centerpiece kit. So Tyranids have got loads of like big monster kits, and obviously one of the ways that you can play a Tyranid army.
Well, now because now I kind of want to see what like Trigon looks like
style.
updated.
But this is.
Because I love all that texture they put into the carapace. It just looks cool.
Very imposing, very cool. Towers over something like enemy captains and champions and things like that, and has the strength and psychic might to basically take on pretty much anything in the game. Like this is.
Oh, they said it was Wraith Lord sized? Okay, that's still pretty damn big. It's not gigantic.
Right, so but this is a dual kit.
It is indeed.
So there's two things you can make. So the Norn emissary is the first one, a kind of honed
I've Tyrant.
precision killer. The other unit you can make with this is the Norn assimilator. So
wow.
what's the Norn assimilator?
So the Norn assimilator is basically
The big bad Beetleborgs.
in task to the emissary, whereby it's got a specific task, a specific target that it needs to take out. But rather than necessarily a commander, it might be an enemy monster or a
It goes
group
through.
or a fleet of
Bro, I'm gonna
groups.
splurge.
So
Splurge or splooge?
yes, so where the emissary is almost akin to a sniper taking out a key target. This is like sending a bulldozer to make sure that whatever gets hit gets crushed. And as you can see there, there's
I think he's got the Predator mandibles too.
tasty differences between the kits. He's not equipped with all of the psychic brains, as it were.
He's got brawn.
Yes,
He's got
he does.
brawn.
You can see the two weapons on the bottom are his tox injector harpoons. Now these pack an absolute punch, and they're going to go through.
Oh yeah, he's got those hands with little
He's got
sacks
little
on them.
bars on the chest as well. So if anybody tries to get away from him, he can strike them, drag them back.
Huh.
Yeah, and there's a kind of toxic feel to this model
Yes.
as well. Aren't there? So on the base, obviously, you've got that kind of burning, acidic look. But those harpoons there look like they're kind of primed with poison and things.
Yeah, they definitely
Like you
leaned
might
into
say
the
with
bug
Norn
aesthetic, eh?
emissary to capture an enemy commander. This guy's not taking prisoners.
Oh, no.
He is like skewering enemy units and like ripping open bunkers and destroying everything that's inside. So he's just an absolute like
Okay, so yeah, it's still a big
so
kit.
you can
It's
see we talked about
it's
the
Hive
scale of
Tyrant
this guy.
Carnifex
So,
sized.
That is a Wraith Lord. Wraith Lords are pretty big. They're
Pretty
about
big,
the same
yeah.
height as a Redemptor, I think.
Yeah,
in that kind of
height-wise.
ballpark. So he's going to look about right, going toe to toe with like the kind of medium walkers. Maybe not quite the same height as something like a knight, but actually the combat output on some.
It's entirely, yeah, I suppose the Forge World could be
kind of ballpark.
repurposed,
So
yeah.
you could start to you can threaten.
Alex, yeah, it's kind of like
pretty
the
much
discontinued
anything in,
Forge World. What is it?
this guy.
Dimecurian?
Yeah, those tox injector harpoons, as you can imagine, as a harpoon can be fired out. At
This one looks so
range,
much way better.
but simultaneously, you can
would you?
also use them in combat, and they're
No, this again, like even the older Forge World Tyranid stuff
But one of the big things with
compared to like
both
this
of
new
them
stuff we're looking at,
is
even
they
the way the new
don't
sculpts
have
look,
a single
it's like 720p
whilst the
to 1080
Tyranids
to
might
4K.
take
You know what I mean? Like
the
it's a higher resolution,
these
better
guys,
definition,
told, I just
better
want that commander dead,
crispness on the
that
details.
vehicle dead, and they'll send them after it. And as part of that, they get some special rules to do so. So when they are attacking their target, they'll get some re-rolls, or if they are specifically after an objective, they'll get a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, so they've got some play in game basically.
Yes.
So if you can either go, there is an enemy unit that I just absolutely want to. I know that if I kill that unit, that the game is going to go favorably for me. You can go, this model is going to kill that unit, or you can go, this is the objective that the game is going to pivot around. I'm going to go for that objective.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Bonuses to this unit's ability when it's near that objective.
That's it. As you said, I think even though he's maybe not quite got the height or the bulk of a knight, given his special rules, if he wants to target a knight, I don't think he's going to last long.
There
No,
you go.
it's-
Okay, so that is, I think sometimes you see new units added to Warhammer 40,000. You're like, that is going to be one of the things to watch.
Yes.
And if you're going to go Tyranids, you're going to be like, how can I find a place for this lovely gentleman in my force? And if you're going to go up against Tyranids, you're going to have to work out how you deal with a model like that. So that is our roundup for the Tyranids. So loads.
That's
of
it.
new
That's pretty cool.
On show there, we had new Gene Stealers, new Gaunts, new Lictors, new Living Artillery, and new Norn emissaries, which is very cool. So loads of that stuff on the way.
Did you have a particular favourite?
Did I ever? So I like the Gene Stealers. Like it's
Yeah,
all,
Gene
it's
Stealers
all
are pretty cool.
But,
Hormagaunts.
I think I've just got a soft spot for Gene Stealers. How about yourself, Alex?
I think the Neurolictor.
Okay.
I was torn between
Neurolictor.
the and the Neurolictor.
Damn near
There's
got her.
something about it is that kind of insidious creature that gets behind the lines and causes trouble. It's the same stories you've heard about lictors for years, and now it's with a bit of psychic might behind it.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So all of those new Tyranid miniatures are on the way later this year. They all come out alongside the new Codex Tyranids, which we can confirm is the first Codex of the new edition.
Oh.
So if you've got a Tyranid force, paint up your Leviathan army. Have fun with that. Plenty more reinforcements on the way. Space Marine players. I know we didn't get to see any new Space Marines today.
No, too bad.
You know,
You lost.
you can't win them all.
Deal with it.
Literally can't win them all. But there's plenty new Space Marine miniatures on the way in the not too distant
That just
future.
means that
We will
on
still
Warhammer
get to see
Community,
it.
they're just going
It
to
still getting released. You just don't get to see
give
it.
us a big smattering of previews coming up in the coming
A big
weeks.
thank you for all of you who joined in. A special big thank you if you took part in the Battle for Oghram campaign.
Sophie,
It's
I can see a lot of new
really
NID players
I'd like to
coming up
say
with fantastic
thank you
minis. Oh yeah,
for- thank you
definitely.
for
Having me.
A big thank you.
All
to
all
Nick,
those models they showed today,
and
fantastic.
Thank you for Notley in the chat for keeping you all honest. A reminder: if you are thinking of starting either a Tyranid
Yeah,
or
so
a Space
yeah,
Marine army,
Biovore, pretty
a
good.
couple of
Yeah,
great box sets out there that you can do it with. There is the Leviathan box, which you will still be able to find in a few places.
Yep.
It is
Oh,
sold
yeah,
out
shit,
online,
in my
but there are
area,
a few stores
they've got
dotted
quite a few
around
boxes.
that still have a few copies. So get in touch with your local.
you know what?
Warhammer store, your
If
local
you're looking for
retailer,
Leviathan and you're
see if
in
they've
North
still got
America or
copies.
anywhere else
That
in the
box
world,
is a brilliant place to
Max
start
Aggression.
either a Tyranid or a Space Marine force.
give them a dingle
Equally,
and
if you want something a little bit smaller,
They've got boxes
there
still.
are some new starter sets that are on pre-order today from GamesWorkshop.com and also from local retailers. So have a look out for that too.
Bubenheimer. Space Marine players, you no longer rate a video preview.
With that, I thank you all again for coming, and we will roll.
Thanks,
through our last
Eddie.
video,
Thanks,
reflecting on
Alex.
all of the great reveals we've had today. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
One world is consumed, but many more await, full of biomass for the taking.
Biomass. With plenty of biomass. Hormagaunts, Termagants, Death Leaper, Neurolictor, Lictor, Biovore, Pyomore, Norn Emser. Those Lictors look freaking awesome though, man. All these things they've shown look all fantastic and are awesome. Yeah, that thing's freaking cool. Devour the galaxy. Okay, well, that's it, folks. That's the preview. That's the preview of the previews of the reveals. That's the preview of the reveals for the things. Sold out. What? Oh, I'm kind of mad at GW, not gonna lie. I pre-ordered Farsight last week. After waiting months for it, was told I was definitely gonna get him because she was allocated up to 3. Got refunded yesterday. Oh, really? That's shitty. Couldn't fulfill my order. Damn. Farsight, everybody wants Farsight, man. Alex, well, back to work. Yeah, get back to work. Were you just hiding in your desk, just with your phones in and just watching on your phone? Just, shh, no, you get me in trouble, man. Steven, thanks for the fun hangout. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for chatting and, saying hi and, yeah. Okay, is that it? We're done with that. I can turn that off now, right? That's off. Yes. Yes. Twitch Twitch is giving me such balls lately. Where do I fucking go? Start yelling here in a sec. Like, how do I get out of this window, for fuck's sakes? Jeez.
We're at war.
No, shut up. We're not at war. Are we? Might be. I'm live. Really? Thank you. Didn't notice. Hey, you're live. Really? Wow. Alrighty. So, yeah. We saw lots of stuff. There was no Space Marine stuff. too bad if you're a Space Marine enthusiast and you were like, yeah, Space Marines, man. Space Marines are awesome. Shut your mouth. Sit down. just shut your mouth and sit down. It's Tyranids, man. And Tyranids, I mean, that didn't disappoint. The Tyranids, every single one of those models they previewed were excellent, in my opinion. The only one that would be, it didn't meet my expectation, but I was not expecting what we got, the Biovore and the Pyrovore. Those are the only ones. I like the change, but it wasn't what I was expecting. And anyway, go Starman. Good show, gang. See ya later, dude. Says Tyler, Twitch balls. Wait, this wasn't pre-recorded? No, this was all live. This is live right now. Sid, wait. Are you fucking with me? I think you're fucking with me. But anyway, yeah. So that was fun. I liked it. And yeah, I mean, for all you Space Marine people out there, don't worry. Just watch Warhammer Community. And yeah, because in the coming days and coming weeks, up until Space Marines get their codex, we're going to get previews of these new units. In fact, I'm willing to bet, no Primaris lieutenants today. Yeah, man, if they put out another fucking lieutenant, I say we riot. Everybody just descend upon Nottingham and we riot with like little pickets and everything like that. Just no more fucking lieutenants, you. Like, they talk about the bloat of Warhammer 40,000 and streamlining and making the game more efficient, and and then you look at Space Marines and the data sheet cards are this fucking thick. The pile of cards is this thick, and that's just for the core Space Marines. Never mind Blood Angel, Space Wolves, all of them. Just that thing. That is bloat. That's the bloat. It is obvious. If you cannot see the bloat of Warhammer 40,000 where it currently lies as they've trimmed off more and more fat to the game, Space Marines are the problem. They're the problem. Space Marines are the problem. Sophie, thought peeps bought Space Marines for allies, for sisters, and IG armies. Yeah. Cital, yeah, no misses this time. All killer, no filler. Yeah, that's the way. That's what they should have led with for their presentation. It's all killer, no filler, and that works fairly well for Tyranids as well because they're all killers, and they're looking to fill, right? Or no filler, so they're hungry. That's it. So really, that saying applies very much to Tyranids. Sis Tyler, I'm down for that anyway. Fuck it, LOL. I want my Farsight model, fucking pricks. Yeah, just picketing fucking Games Workshop. Make more models. Do what you do, but make more. Like, this is me holding a picket sign. This isn't me like jerking somebody off. But Lock and Key, thanks for covering. No, thanks for stopping by. Lock and Key, I don't think I've ever read that name before, so thank you and welcome. Yeah, so I think we're done. We're done, right? We're done. Tyranids, awesome. Space Marines, blah. So yeah, big thanks to everybody tuning in today, hanging out, talking, checking things out. Tyranids, I'm excited. When does this stuff come out? I don't even know. When it was the Tyranid Codex supposed to drop? I don't even know when the Codex was supposed to drop, but yeah. Says Tyler, they went too crazy prioritizing Marines for releases is why the entire range was plastic when they still needed new units to sell people and eventually ran out of ideas. I mean, with Space Marines, the ideas were running in the wrong direction as far as I'm concerned. And the whole idea of creating the lore of Mark 10 armor and Primaris Marines, I don't think it was necessary. I think they should have just, pull up their socks, right? Roll up their sleeves, get ready to duke it out with everybody, and just say, these are the Space Marines. This is Space Marines now. And all the other Space Marine stuff was still playable, but aesthetically, it was just an aesthetics change. That's it, right? And that's all they should have done. They shouldn't have done the whole Primaris thing, because introducing the Primaris stuff to Warhammer 40,000 kind of kills Warhammer 40,000, because Warhammer 40,000 is the grim darkness of the dark age of technology, right? And having Gilliman and the whole call thing where they're re-engineering Space Marines, they can make new Space Marines now, and they have brand new armor, and bang. And then of course they also have, like, Primaris also have a lot of anti-grav technology, right? Anti-grav technology in the Imperium should be very hard to come by, right? It's rare. And it just, it just takes away so much of the grimdark aesthetic, the meat and potatoes of the universe, because it's the dark age of technology. Humanity is living in a dark time, and it truly should have been impressive in that regards, that there's just no hope, right? And that was the point of the game, at least when I was getting into the game, and what drew me to the imagery was the darkness, right? There's no point to hoping, and yeah. Says Tyler, just true scale the old ones. That's all people wanted. Let people use their old stuff too, but make the bigger scale Marines, Dreads, etc. And those diehards with everything would still buy it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's all they had to do. It was just, the scale's changing on Marines to make them more impressive, and that's it. And you could have just kept the Marines. And in fact, you could have just recycled the entire product line of Space Marines in that new scale, and still had the older ones available for everybody, and have the new ones, and let people make their choice. Like, why not? You're just going to make more money either off of the old kits that people still prefer, or the new kits that people, getting into the hobby are going to really enjoy, right? And that's it. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. Yes, people would have lost their shit. Yes, there would have been tons of backlash, but it's a very loud minority. That the people who really make that cry, and who are very loud and vocal, they are the minority in this community. Because people are just going to play. People are just going to play. Right? Steven, the whole Space Marine release schedule since initial Primaris rollout has been masterclass in marketing. Keeping the Firstborn separate means that they can rescale and resell like Termies now. True. But people would have bought new Terminators anyway. A redone Terminator kit from the old one, and showing them and how much cleaner, better proportions, you know what I mean? It all works. People would have bought them. They would have sold. They would have sold. Now, mind you, would they have been way more expensive though? Probably. But anyway. Sita, I would love to have new, bigger versions of Rhinos, Predators, Speeders, classic Dreads. We got Terminators back, so at least that's a win. Right, exactly, right? Like an upgraded Rhino that looks like it fits the Primaris sized models, right? Don't give me the Impulsor that has anti-grav and all sorts of discombobulated guns and it's just really high tech, because it doesn't make sense in Warhammer 40,000. Because it's the grim darkness of the far future, the dark age of technology. The dark age of technology. They don't know how shit works. That was the point. That was the draw of the Imperium. That was the tragedy of the tale that you're telling within Warhammer 40,000. That humans are just in such a bad way. And then when you really kind of dig into it, well, why is the Imperium in such a bad way? And then, of course, you really get into it, right? But with the introduction of the whole Primaris and having all this anti-grav and all this new technology and stuff like that, it creates a new era of innovation. And you know what I mean? Like, no, that should be for a different tale. That should be for a different tale. This whole, basically like a renaissance for the Imperium. But that's a whole different game. That's a whole different setting, right? The renaissance. Sid Tyler, I would love to have bigger. Oh, no, I already read that one. Sophie, they had to refresh it to gather new players. 10th, just edition cycles is going to introduce new players. Just 10th edition. How many? Like right now in my house, I have 2 people who are taking up Warhammer 40,000. I've got a Blood Angel player in my house now, and I have a Tau player because of 10th edition, and they went out and bought models and everything like that. And so, yeah. Joe Bumbler, 50K. 50K. It might as well just be 50K, right? The Renaissance. And, you know, what do you do from there? See, and like, I don't think bringing in this very bright and hopeful, you know, period of Warhammer 40,000, because realistically, just before the Horus Heresy, that should have been more like the human Renaissance, right? Because there was the Age of Strife and all that. And so, yeah, that really should have been like the Renaissance. And Warhammer 40,000 is post-Renaissance. Conceptually, anyway. But, yeah. The new Marine Speeder is the best new vehicle they've gotten. I've hated all the others. The new Marine Speeder? Oh, yeah. Because it's bigger. Right? They just could have just said that's the new Land Speeder. Bang. Done. Put the Typhon one, the Raven Wing options, right? And just built it off that. Like, people would have bought it. People would have bought it. Space Marine players would have gotten them. And hell, when you see these new, larger models on the table that have really great details as opposed to the old ones who don't have a lot of that complexity, and yeah, people would have bought those kits, and yeah, all the Marine players would have shifted. That's what they do. They just blindly follow. Marine players, yeah, just follow the trends. That's all they do. Except the bikes. The bikes are great. The new bikes I like. What is it? The Outrider bikes? Yeah, those are great. Those are Space Marine bikes. The previous bikes, just look like chunky bikes. Look like a chunky Harley Lowrider. You know what I mean? Like, meh. The new Outrider bikes, so that looks more like something out of like Akira, but 40K'd. So it's got big, blocky, hard edges, you know? Tyler, we need new Chaos Bikers to match those. Yeah, new bikers. Chaos Bikers. Doom Rider? Are you thinking Doom Rider? Is that what you're thinking? A new Doom Rider would be cool. Especially if we kind of look like Ghost Rider. But Slaneshi. So instead of fire hairdo, it's just a bunch of dildos, you know? Something like that. I don't know. On that note, we should probably end this stream before it gets really weird. Again, I want to thank you guys. Big thank you to my patrons. Without your support, these videos and such are not possible. So huge thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's also memberships or Patreon links on Twitch. You know, click links. I don't know. Check out the rest. Go to waythebrush.com. That's the central hub. It's got all the Discord, socials, all that stuff. Got stuff for sales, all sorts of things. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, commenting, ringing the bell, all help the channel as well. And all it takes is a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out a great deal. And a huge thank you to everybody who does that. So, thank you. This time he comes, he goes. Don't fuck me up, man. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. Oh yeah, we got to do it. We got to do Way of the Brush 400, episode 400, because 400 is like the next episode, is it not? We got to do something. We got to do a giveaway. Maybe we'll do some giveaways. I got a lot of crap. I've been doing some cleaning up, and yeah, I got a lot of stuff to get rid of. Purging as it were. Sophie, full with the episode next week? Yeah, I think so. Way the Brush, yeah. I think so. Why not, right? I mean, Sophie, just to make you happy, Sophie, I'll do it. Just to make Sophie happy. In fact, that's what the episode will be called. Episode 400, just to make Sophie happy, Way of the Brush. There we go. That'll be the title of the show. Just to make Sophie happy. Anyway. Alrighty. Is that it? That's it. We're done. No need, just send it here. Oh, just for whatever the giveaway is. Oh, yeah. Just send it to her. Yeah. Well, you got to send me your address then, kid. So, you know, I'm joking, of course. But who knows? You might win something. I don't know. Like, should we do it like draws? Should we do I just randomly pick somebody, just willy-nilly, and just say, I said, yeah, Sophie won. What'd she win? I don't know, box of minis. Here you go. See you later. You know? I don't know. We'll play it by ear. We'll see. I think maybe a draw, though. I think a draw. A raffle? A giveaway? No. I don't know. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's enjoy the rest of our Saturday. And let's think about the possibilities of color schemes for new Tyranids. Those lictors, the Neuro Lictor. Neuro Lictor, damn near got her.